Thank you for staying with us. The anti-graft war by the administration of President Bola Tinubu is full swing, but we await the outcome. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has detained the former Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadiya Umar-Farouq, for questioning over fraud allegations in the handling of 37.1 billion naira social intervention funds. Meanwhile, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Betta Edu, has a date with the EFCC at its headquarters in Abuja for questioning over alleged 585 million naira fraud. The invitation was sent to the suspended minister less than 30 minutes after President Tinubu announced her suspension from office. Let's share the updates with you.
Well, like you know, and which is very clear, yeah, whether Progressive Governors Forum or whether as a governor of Imo State, we have only one president whose wisdom we cannot question. And what is more, if there are allegations and Mr. President said, I want to look into it, I think it's consistent with the law and the oath of office is sworn to. So I don't think it's something that will begin to create a menu now for the media. So I think let's allow the sleeping dog to rest.
Julie, from what I have seen with this ministry, it's not today, and there's a system that is not working well. There's a system that we allow the minister, that gives the minister unfettered access into this money that are allocated to affect millions of Nigerians under the poverty line.
I want to believe that what is going on in that ministry is simply a clear bypassing of laid down procedures. For example, that minister did not have the power to write directly to seek the transfer of that money to that account. If it was even supposed to be permitted. She's not supposed to directly play that role. It is the role of the PAMSEC. And you are not the accounting officer of the ministry. You are not. You are not the treasurer of the ministry. You are not the PAMSEC. Your own role is to give approval. Your role is supervisory. But increasingly, politicians as ministers are interfering in the running of ministries, interfering in matters that have to do with funding of ministries, agencies, and parastatals, which is against the CBN Act. They are not supposed to have direct access to money in this manner. So, I was reading a protest that was made by one group, one NGO, Northeast Consultative Forum or something. And they were accusing this minister of even increasing the number of signatories to the account of the agency. That is the social investment program. Without the knowledge of the PAMSEC, without the knowledge of the woman who headed the agency. So if people chose to bypass laid down procedures, it won't be because the structures are not there. Another person will run that ministry and will not behave like that. We've had people in the past that they tried to even use money to corrupt them, and they still found that no. And if you want to do anything, they will tell you, put it in writing, so that they can save their heads. What I still don't understand, I guess the investigations will show, is whether, in spite of what the Accountant General said, this woman still went behind to have the money transferred, because I know it's a possibility. Perhaps she called some big people in government and said, "So I want to get this money out. This woman is proven stubborn. What can you help me?" Somebody gave a counter order. we need to get to the root of this matter to know what exactly happened. Because she has not denied not transferring money. Up till now, she has not said, look, it didn't happen. And we know that the Accountant General claimed that she refused to carry out the instruction. So, so if money is in that woman's account, what's her name, Bridget, how did it get there? Could it be a different transaction, a different deal that we are talking about, or the other one? So, Betta Edu must know that what she has done is criminal in nature. Because whatever contravenes the Money Laundering Act is criminal in nature. You can't move money because individuals do not transact business with government. It is corporate entities that transact business with government. So you can't move money from government coffers straight into
personal accounts.
Abba.
This will have a kind of far-reaching implication on this lady's career. She just started, she rose very fast, and to make this kind of mistake.
I think something that we have to know is that when you are an appointee, there's no way you can run beyond your boss. There's no way you can sidetrack the established rules and regulations. In the ministry, we have what they call financial rules and regulations. There are processes and process of transferring money from a particular head to the other. And I believe that besides the permanent secretary, the director of finance and administration of each of the ministries are the ones that has final power. They know, if you ask the director of finance of any ministry, they know what money is in a particular section at any point in time. But for an appointee who is not in the system to now give a counter order against the established rules and regulations guiding financial rules, I think she has sort of, it's a corruption. I would say it is a corruption of the system. Besides that, why must government account be run from somebody's pocket? By transferring money into a private account of an official, you are running government from your pocket or from the pocket of that official. And you see, when you give people some kind of power, it is difficult for that power not to be abused. So it is the abuse that will follow that thing that is of interest to Nigerians. I don't think she should be so much excited, overwhelmed, as to sidetrack lay down rules and regulations. Because I'm telling you, civil servants, permanent secretary, they always follow lay down rules and regulations. Why are you in a haste not to follow lay down rules and regulations and ensure that the money pass through the normal process? You can expedite action. You can give them deadline. Say, look, this money must be released at this particular point in time for this particular purpose. But not that it should be released through the private account. It is unheard of. And I think somebody at that particular level, for you to be appointed the Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, there are certain things that you should have known, that you don't bend such rules, and you don't give yourself away by doing this kind of, it's quite unheard of. I think it's unheard of. I think when people want to react or perform well, you should not set aside lay down rules.
Today it becomes more annoying that people that are trusted with the responsibility of trying to alleviate the level of poverty in the country, ravaged by poverty and unemployment, that will be doing this to us in a country that you can't afford to buy a bag of rice, that people cannot access. Curry is now the kind of luxury food.
1,500 per.
It's difficult.
It's unfortunate.
Things are so hard.
It all has to do with the nature of politicians we have. The bulk of our politicians are self-serving. We thoroughly selfish lot. And that's why you see that the president will set aside money for distribution of grains to people. And they are not even talking about it. Only a few of them have come out to say we were given money.
Man from Edo State.
Yes.
House of Rep.
Grains. They kept quiet. Most of them monetized it and kept the money in their pockets. Those are the kind of politicians that we have. So they don't know. All they want to do is simply make money. Whether, if they get the opportunity, they will steal from the poorest of the poor. They are not. They are not bothered. They are not bothered as long as they can spend money, buy houses in Abuja, buy houses in their state, send their children to school abroad, while the rest of us are struggling to pay school fees of our children. Do you know how many people have been sending messages? Can you come and send messages to you that they want to pay school fees?
This is
that
January.
they can't
This
pay?
is the time now.
Look at this issue.
You know how many people have been sending?
Yes,
Because you see, for parents, it is a big shame when their children are sent back. Let's put ourselves in the class of these parents. Put ourselves in their shoes. They can't pay those school fees. When the child comes home, the parent looking into the face of his distraught child who was sent back from school will feel diminished in front of that child.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is how it feels.
They even give the children textbook, and those that have not paid,
They
take
put them aside.
give them just
You know how little children turn to one another. That shame, yes, they can't forget. They can't forget. So this is the situation that bad leadership has put the ordinary Nigerian parent, including the very hard-working ones. Some of the people begging for money today, asking you, Ayo, can you please assist me? I want to pay school fees of my children. They are not lazy people.
They are not lazy people.
It is the circumstance that misleadership, bad leadership has inflicted on our people that is leading hard-working people to turn to beggars.
to give people 20,000, 10,000
because
naira.
they just need to solve those problems.
Look at what the
Now you are
president
giving, how much are you even giving people? You are giving people 20,000. Something that cannot solve their problem in the real sense of the word. Now you want to help yourself to some of the money by giving contract to companies that are not registered with the Corporate
Affairs
Commission. And you just want to steal from the poor.
Look at Abaton, look at 20,000.
20,000.
What kind of
how much is it?
What kind of Robin Hood? What kind of
Some
Robin
houses.
Hood are these people? The Robin Hood that I used to know will rob the rich,
steal from the
rich and give to the
poor.
poor. The Robin Hood that we have in Nigeria will steal from the poor and give to the rich. Come on.
Okay, look at it now. For instance, look at the whole of Southwest. I've not heard of any National Assembly members or senators that
Yes.
distributed rice or grains to people.
But you see people in the north doing that. You see governors in the north doing that.
You see people in the north doing
Shameless
that.
politicians
So
from
they are
around there.
deliberately,
They are
deliberately pauperizing the poor, the people, so that on election day they can give them 50 naira to go and vote.
Yes.
They go and vote for them.
people's money
It's
to
unfortunate
oppress
They are weaponizing poverty.
It's unfortunate that our leaders say are doing that, because I have not seen that such politicians coming out now. The president, the man from Edo State, the House of Rep man from Edo State, exposed all of them. None of them has come out now.
Some of them
You can
that
imagine,
money.
you can imagine how much 100 bags of rice in a particular community. At least if your ward, if you are a member of House of Rep, if you have 20 wards or 50 wards, you can, if you give them 100 bags of rice, that's something. 50
Okay.
wards.
We'll take this break. When we come back, Musbar